Hi, I'm Neil Moody, and I'm going to create a look today that's based on the Véronique Leroy show from Paris that I worked on the hair for. It's basically a bit of a bouffant ponytail with a bit of braiding going on as well. So it's a little bit of an evening look, but you can wear it during the day as well if you want with something quite cool, but it's quite good for evening as well because it has a little bit of volume. You know, it makes it look a little bit more dressed out. The first step is the preparation of the hair after adding the styling products and power drying them in, which is I use Bumble and Bumble styling cream and thickening hairspray. Power dried, then it's not good if the hair's too clean and shiny. And I'm going to start curling her hair using the Wham size 25 curling iron. I'm going to create like a sort of barrel curl. So an alternative way to create some volume is with the digital Wham straightening iron. It's got curved edges so that you can actually create a curl. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So you pop the iron in, go about halfway down the hair and rotate the iron round 360 degrees. The steam is just from the moisture in the air, and then you just slowly slide the straightening iron down the hair. So you can see that the curl is kind of quite more sort of defined. The hair needs some texture basically, so it makes it much easier to manipulate when you're putting hair up. Step 2, I've finished curling all the hair with the curling iron, and what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to start backcombing the roots from in the middle of the back of everyone's head. We have what's called an occipital bone. So that's where I'm going to start building the volume, is at the occipital bone up to the crown. So, because I don't want it to be so bouffant it becomes like a beehive, it's going to be a little bit lower down, so it'll be a slightly different shape to a beehive. When you're backcombing as well, it's quite good to keep the sections quite clean. So I'm using a tail comb. So this end of the comb, I'm actually dividing the hair. If it's a little the sections aren't clean enough, then the backcombing tends to get a little bit out of control. It's always better if the hair's not completely clean. So if you've just shampooed your hair and conditioned it, the last thing you want to do is go and put loads of products on it to make it look more dry and matte, because that's how the look is when it's finished. It's better if it's maybe like a day old or 2 days old, unless of course you desperately want to have that look and you've just washed your hair, then it's about adding the products. But you definitely need some product in the hair to give the hair support. Asian hair, I've found, has generally the hair's quite fine, but there's a lot of it, so it can look like there's a lot of hair, but actually when you look close up, each individual hair is very fine, but there can be a lot of it. Also, the texture can be a bit coarse, which can make the hair feel thicker. Madison just turns her head to the side. Then you can also see where the volume is created. And then basically this hair is just going to sit over the top, and then the ponytail is going to be in the base here, okay? So that's the area you need to backcomb, no more. Step 2 is the backcombing of the roots in the back area. Like I said, there's a bone in the middle of the back of everyone's head called the occipital bone, and I start at that area. And it's just backcombing the roots, not right the way through to the ends. You don't want to end up with a big matted mess. Step 3, I'm just going to work through the top area here, which again is a little bit of backcombing, but not as much as was here. It's going to look a little weird if I have all this volume here and this is very flat. So what I'm doing is just very slightly lifting the front. So it's just a tiny bit of backcombing through there, but just so that it blends through into the back a lot easier. It just makes for a nicer shape. I backcombed the roots a little bit at the front area, but a lot less than in the back. The back I backcombed more, so it was much more voluminous. The top was really just to give it a little bit of support, so it wasn't completely flat when you brush the hair back. Step 4 was the tying of the hair into the ponytail, and it's done in 2 sections. So step 4 was taking the side sections and the back and tying into a ponytail right into the nape of the neck using an elastic. It's important to get that quite tight so that it's very secure. But it's, I left the top section out, and that's step 5. Now I've created the volume here, I'm going to actually start tying Madison's hair into the shape, the final shape. So what you actually do is, don't really brush out the back combing here, because you need that bit of volume, but just use like a flat bristle brush. This is like a Mason and Pearson, just to actually smooth the hair over the top of the back combing. But what's nice about this look is if it's not too perfect when it's finished. So what I actually do is let the hair go a little bit loose in places. And so you actually tie the hair, you just turn your head to the side. So I'm going to tie it here. So she's got this volume here, and the ponytail will be really very low into the nape of the neck. Elastic, but I like to use these elastics just because I feel like I've got a bit more control as to how tight I take it. Obviously you need a friend to help you if you're going to tie it with regular sort of elastic. To keep the ponytail very low right in the nape of the neck though. And then just tie a knot in it. Step 5, what I do is actually attach that section to the ponytail. Is attaching the top section of the hair to the hair underneath. What I'm actually going to do is, rather than using a brush, I'm going to use my fingers now, just so that it feels a little bit more natural and less sort of overdone. And then I sort of actually separate the hair into 2 and take it down and wrap the 2 sections, both sides, underneath the ponytail. That then covers the elastic so that you don't see it. And you just pin it underneath. Pin one side. You can actually leave it like this, so you've got this volume and then just the ponytail with the curls. But what I'm actually going to do is the next step, which I'm going to braid this, because I just think it'd be a little bit cooler and a bit younger. So I'm going to split this hair into 3 sections. And then I'm just going to do a Dutch braid, which is one where you cross the hair underneath the middle section. So the braid actually sits on the outside, facing outwards rather than inwards, which is the French braid. And then just braid until the ends disappear. And then I'm going to tie that with an elastic through here. It's much nicer when it's opened out a little bit.